In a time of chaos and empires, a boy was born to reshape history. His name was Alexander. The world would never be the same. Born in 356 BC in Pella, Macedonia, Alexander was the son of King Philip II and Queen Olympias. From an early age, greatness was carved into his destiny. Taught by the philosopher Aristotle, he mastered philosophy, science, and warfare before he was even a man. At just 20 years old, Alexander ascended to the throne after the assassination of his father. His first act? Crushing rebellions and uniting the Greek city-states under his command. With his army of 40,000, Alexander set his sights eastward. His enemy, Darius III of Persia. His ambition, nothing less than the conquest of the known world. At the river Granicus he tasted victory. At Issus he cornered Darius. At Gaugamela he shattered the Persian army forever. The great king fled. Alexander pursued him across the empire. Egypt crowned him pharaoh. Babylon opened its gates. Persepolis, the jewel of Persia, burned in his wake. Alexander became the master of Asia, undefeated in battle, beloved by his men. Never satisfied, Alexander marched into India. At the Hydaspes River he faced King Porus, and won one of his bloodiest battles. Yet here his men, weary and far from home, begged to return. In 323 BC, at the height of his power, Alexander fell ill in Babylon. At just 32 years old, the conqueror of the world closed his eyes and left his empire without an heir. In 11 years, Alexander built the largest empire the world had ever seen. His legend lived on, inspiring kings, generals, and dreamers for centuries. He was, and remains, the man who conquered the world. Alexander's education under Aristotle was rigorous and comprehensive. He learned philosophy, ethics, politics, and healing. Aristotle also instilled in him a love for Homer's Iliad, which inspired his future conquests. It was through these teachings that Alexander developed not only his strategic mind but also his vision of a united world. Aristotle's influence was profound, shaping Alexander into a leader who valued knowledge as much as power. This education laid the foundation for his legendary campaigns and the cultural blending that followed his conquests. In the end, the lessons of Aristotle were as integral to Alexander's success as his military genius. Thus, the legacy of Alexander the Great is not merely one of conquests and battles, but also of ideas and learning, echoing through the annals of history. Alexander's journey from student to conqueror remains one of the most compelling narratives of human ambition and achievement. And so, the story of Alexander the Great lives on, a testament to the power of knowledge and the indomitable spirit of one of history's greatest figures. Alexander's military tactics were revolutionary. He used the phalanx formation, combined arms and psychological warfare to outmaneuver and defeat larger armies. The phalanx, a dense formation of hoplites armed with long spears, was the backbone of his army. This formation provided both offensive and defensive strength, creating an impenetrable wall of spears. But Alexander didn't rely solely on the phalanx. He skillfully integrated different types of troops, including cavalry, archers, and light infantry, to create a versatile and adaptive fighting force. His use of combined arms allowed him to exploit the weaknesses of his enemies and respond to changing battlefield conditions with agility and precision. Psychological warfare was another key element of Alexander's strategy. He often used deception and surprise to sow confusion and fear among his opponents. By spreading false information, staging surprise attacks, and demonstrating overwhelming force, he was able to break the morale of enemy troops before the battle even began. These innovative tactics, combined with his relentless ambition and strategic brilliance, enabled Alexander to achieve victories against seemingly insurmountable odds. His military genius not only secured his place in history, but also transformed the art of warfare, influencing military strategies for centuries to come. Through his tactical innovations and fearless leadership, Alexander the Great redefined what was possible on the battlefield, leaving a legacy that continues to inspire military leaders to this day. Alexander's conquests spread Greek culture across the known world, ushering in a period known as the Hellenistic Age. His vast empire, stretching from Greece to Egypt and into India, became a melting pot of cultures, languages, and ideas. Greek art, architecture, and philosophy began to blend with local traditions, creating a rich tapestry of cultural exchange. One of the most significant legacies of Alexander's cultural impact was the founding of cities like Alexandria in Egypt. Alexandria quickly grew into a major center of learning and culture, attracting scholars, artists, and thinkers from across the Mediterranean and beyond. The city boasted the famous Library of Alexandria, a repository of knowledge that symbolized the intellectual flowering of the Hellenistic age. Through these centers of learning, Greek science, literature, and philosophy were preserved and disseminated, influencing future generations. Alexander's vision of a unified world where East met West fostered an environment of collaboration and innovation. The fusion of Greek and Eastern cultures during this period laid the groundwork for advances in mathematics, astronomy, medicine, and the arts. By spreading Greek culture and establishing cities that thrived long after his death, Alexander the Great left an indelible mark on history. His cultural legacy continues to resonate, reminding us of the transformative power of cross-cultural exchange and the enduring impact of one man's ambition to conquer not just lands, but hearts and minds as well. Despite his public persona as a fearless conqueror and strategic genius, Alexander the Great's personal life was a tapestry woven with complexity and emotion. His marriage to Roxana, a Bactrian princess, was not just a political alliance but also a union that carried deep personal significance. Their relationship, though often overshadowed by his military exploits, was a testament to Alexander's capacity for love and partnership. Roxana, known for her beauty and intelligence, captured Alexander's heart during his campaign in Central Asia. Their marriage symbolized a bridge between the Greek and Persian worlds, furthering Alexander's vision of a unified empire. Yet, the union was not without its challenges, as it stirred tensions among his Macedonian followers who were wary of foreign influences. Equally poignant was Alexander's close relationship with his companion Hephaestion. More than just a trusted general, Hephaestion was Alexander's confidant and soulmate. Their bond, forged through years of shared battles and triumphs, was one of profound loyalty and mutual respect. When Hephaestion died unexpectedly, Alexander was devastated, mourning his loss with a grief that shook his very core. These intimate connections reveal a different facet of Alexander the Great, a man who, despite his larger-than-life image, experienced the same joys and sorrows that define the human condition. His personal life, filled with moments of love, loss, and deep emotional ties, adds a layer of depth to our understanding of this iconic historical figure. In the end, Alexander's personal relationships were as significant as his military conquests. They shaped his character, influenced his decisions, and left an indelible mark on his legacy. Through Roxana and Hephaestion, we glimpse the human side of a legendary conqueror, reminding us that even the greatest of leaders are, at their core, deeply human. Alexander's legacy is a subject of debate. Some view him as a visionary leader who spread civilization, while others see him as a ruthless conqueror. His empire, vast and diverse, fragmented soon after his death, but his influence endured through the centuries. Alexander's campaigns facilitated the spread of Greek culture, language, and ideas across the known world. This cultural diffusion, known as Hellenization, laid the groundwork for the rise of the Hellenistic period, where Greek influence permeated regions as far as Egypt and India. Cities like Alexandria in Egypt became epicenters of learning and culture, embodying Alexander's vision of a world interconnected by knowledge and trade. However, the cost of his conquests cannot be ignored. The relentless pursuit of expansion led to immense suffering and destruction. Entire cities were razed and countless lives were lost in the wake of his armies. The very strategies that made him a military genius also painted him as a figure of relentless ambition, often at the expense of the people he sought to rule. Despite the dichotomy of his legacy, one cannot deny the profound impact Alexander had on the course of history. his life and conquests continue to be studied and debated, offering valuable insights into the complexities of leadership, ambition, and human endeavor. Alexander the Great remains an enigmatic figure, his legacy a blend of visionary achievements and controversial actions. In the end, he left behind a world forever changed, a testament to the enduring influence of one of history's most iconic figures. Alexander the Great has been depicted in numerous works of art, literature, and film. His life and conquests continue to captivate and inspire people around the world. From the ancient mosaics and sculptures that immortalized his likeness to the epic poems and historical accounts that chronicled his deeds, Alexander's image has been a source of fascination for centuries. In modern times, his story has been retold through various media, each interpretation adding a new layer to his mystique. Films like Oliver Stone's Alexander and novels such as Mary Renault's The Persian Boy have brought his tale to new audiences, highlighting both his extraordinary achievements and the personal struggles that defined him. Television series and documentaries frequently revisit his campaigns, examining the strategies and decisions that led to his unprecedented conquests. These portrayals often grapple with the duality of his character, showcasing him as both a brilliant leader and a complex, flawed individual. Even in the realm of video games and graphic novels, Alexander the Great's legacy endures, allowing new generations to explore his world and the monumental impact he had on history. Through these diverse representations, Alexander's story remains a powerful narrative of ambition, leadership, and the human spirit. As we continue to explore his life and legacy, Alexander the Great's presence in popular culture serves as a reminder of the timeless allure of his story and the enduring fascination with one of history's most iconic figures. Alexander's administration was marked by his efforts to integrate different cultures. He adopted Persian customs and encouraged marriages between his soldiers and local women. This policy of fusion aimed to create a sense of unity and cooperation among the diverse populations within his empire. Alexander believed that by blending cultures, he could foster loyalty and stability, ensuring the longevity of his vast territories. His approach was revolutionary for its time, as it promoted a more inclusive and harmonious society. Alexander's vision of a multicultural empire laid the groundwork for future civilizations to build upon, highlighting his innovative leadership and enduring influence on global history. Alexander's military genius was showcased in numerous battles, each a testament to his strategic brilliance and relentless ambition. Let's delve into some of his most significant clashes, starting with the Battle of the Granicus. In 334 BC, Alexander faced the Persian satraps at the river Granicus. Utilizing a bold and unexpected frontal assault, Alexander's forces overwhelmed the Persian cavalry, securing a crucial victory. This battle demonstrated his willingness to take risks and his ability to inspire his men to follow him into seemingly impossible situations. Next, we have the Siege of Tyre in 332 BC. This island city was a formidable fortress, but Alexander's ingenuity shone through. He constructed a causeway to reach the island, turning the siege into a land battle. After 7 months of relentless effort, Tyre fell, showcasing Alexander's determination and innovative approach to warfare. Finally, the Battle of Gaugamela in 331 BC marked a defining moment in Alexander's campaign. Facing Darius III's vastly larger army, Alexander employed a masterful tactic known as the oblique order. By creating a gap in the Persian lines, he was able to strike at the heart of the enemy's formation, leading to a decisive victory. This battle cemented his reputation as one of history's greatest military commanders. Through these legendary battles, Alexander not only expanded his empire but also left an indelible mark on the art of war. His tactics and strategies continue to be studied and admired by military leaders to this day. As we reach the end of Alexander's extraordinary journey, we come to a moment shrouded in mystery and speculation, his untimely death. In June 323 BC, at the age of just 32, Alexander the Great fell ill in the palace of Nebuchadnezzar II in Babylon. Theories about his death range from natural causes to foul play. Some historians suggest that he succumbed to a fever brought on by malaria or typhoid, while others posit that he may have been poisoned by those who feared his unrelenting ambition and military prowess. His sudden death left a colossal void in the ancient world. Without a clear successor, his vast empire quickly descended into chaos. This power vacuum gave rise to the Wars of the Diadochi, a series of conflicts among his generals and close companions, each vying for control over different parts of his former realm. These wars not only fragmented Alexander's empire but also altered the course of history, leading to the rise of new dynasties and kingdoms. The mystery surrounding Alexander's death adds another layer to his enigmatic legacy. Was it fate that claimed him, or the treachery of those who stood in his shadow? Regardless of the cause, his passing marked the end of an era and the beginning of a new chapter in the annals of history. As we reflect on Alexander's life and the monumental impact he had on the world, we are reminded of the fleeting nature of power and the enduring influence of a true visionary. Alexander the Great may have left this world too soon, but his legacy continues to inspire and captivate us to this day. As we delve deeper into the reverberations of Alexander's monumental legacy, we turn our gaze towards the Roman Empire, a civilization profoundly influenced by his conquests and vision. Alexander's unparalleled military campaigns and innovative tactics did not just reshape the ancient world, they left an indelible mark on the minds of future leaders, especially the Romans. Julius Caesar, one of the most celebrated Roman generals, openly admired Alexander the Great. It is said that Caesar, upon visiting a statue of Alexander in Spain, wept because at a similar age, Alexander had already conquered vast territories, while he himself felt yet to achieve greatness. This admiration was not unique to Caesar. Many Roman generals and statesmen studied Alexander's tactics and sought to emulate his strategies on the battlefield. The Roman military, renowned for its discipline and effectiveness, integrated elements of Alexander's approach. His use of the phalanx, combined with cavalry charges, inspired Roman formations and maneuvers. The concept of swift, decisive strikes and the importance of adaptability in combat were lessons well learned from Alexander's campaigns. Moreover, Alexander's vision of a unified world influenced Roman imperial policy. The Romans, much like Alexander, pursued the idea of spreading their culture and governance, integrating diverse peoples into a single, cohesive empire. The Hellenistic world that Alexander left behind served as a blueprint for Roman expansion, blending cultures and fostering a new era of cultural and intellectual flourishing. In essence, Alexander the Great's shadow loomed large over Rome. His conquests and strategies became the gold standard for military excellence and imperial ambition. The echoes of his achievements resonated through the corridors of Roman power, shaping the empire that would dominate the Western world for centuries to come. As we conclude this exploration of Alexander's influence on Rome, we are reminded of the timeless nature of his legacy. His life and conquests continue to inspire and instruct, proving that true greatness transcends the bounds of time and geography. As we transition from Alexander's influence on Rome, we now explore his enduring impact on modern military strategy. Even in the 21st century, Alexander the Great's campaigns are studied for their strategic brilliance. Military academies around the world, from West Point to Sandhurst, incorporate his tactics into their curricula. Alexander's ability to adapt and innovate on the battlefield remains profoundly relevant today. His use of the phalanx formation combined with cavalry maneuvers is examined as a masterclass in coordination and flexibility. Modern military leaders draw lessons from his capacity to outthink and outmaneuver opponents, turning seemingly insurmountable challenges into opportunities for victory. In contemporary warfare, the principles of swift, decisive action that Alexander championed are mirrored in modern doctrines of rapid deployment and strike operations. His emphasis on intelligence gathering, psychological warfare, and the importance of morale continue to shape the strategies of today's armed forces. Moreover, Alexander's leadership qualities, his charisma, decisiveness, and ability to inspire loyalty, are seen as timeless attributes essential for commanding any successful military force. His campaigns underscore the importance of a leader who can both strategize and empathize, forging a bond with their troops that transcends mere command. In essence, Alexander the Great's military genius transcends the annals of ancient history, offering invaluable insights for modern strategists. His legacy endures not just as a conqueror of nations, but as a teacher of timeless military principles. The study of his campaigns continues to inform and inspire, ensuring that his influence remains as potent today as it was over 2 millennia ago. As we reflect on Alexander's lasting impact on modern military strategy, we are reminded that the art of war is as much about intellect and innovation as it is about strength and numbers. Alexander the Great, through his unparalleled campaigns, continues to be a beacon of strategic excellence guiding the military minds of today and tomorrow. As we delve deeper into the multifaceted legacy of Alexander the Great, we turn our attention to his religious policies. Alexander's approach to religion was notably pragmatic. Unlike many conquerors who sought to impose their own beliefs upon subjugated peoples, Alexander demonstrated a profound respect for the customs and deities of the lands he conquered. This strategic tolerance played a crucial role in his ability to maintain control over a vast and culturally diverse empire. Upon entering new territories, Alexander often participated in local religious ceremonies, paying homage to the gods revered by the inhabitants. This practice not only endeared him to the local populace but also helped to legitimize his rule in their eyes. By presenting himself as a pious leader who honored the divine traditions of his subjects, Alexander fostered a sense of unity and loyalty among the conquered peoples. In Egypt, for instance, he was declared the son of the god Amun at the Oracle of Siwa, a title that bolstered his status both locally and among his own troops. Similarly, in Persia, he adopted elements of Persian royal dress and rituals, showing reverence for the Zoroastrian faith. This willingness to embrace and respect the spiritual practices of his subjects was a key element in Alexander's strategy to govern a sprawling and diverse empire. Moreover, Alexander's inclusive approach to religion facilitated the cultural exchange and syncretism that characterized his reign. By blending Greek religious practices with those of the East, he laid the groundwork for the Hellenistic culture that would flourish long after his death. This cultural fusion is perhaps most evident in the cities he founded, where temples dedicated to both Greek and local gods stood side by side. In essence, Alexander's religious policies were not merely acts of tolerance but calculated moves to ensure the stability and cohesion of his empire. His ability to navigate the complex spiritual landscape of his realm highlights his exceptional foresight and adaptability as a leader. By honoring the gods of the conquered, Alexander the Great not only secured his rule but also left an enduring legacy of cultural and religious integration. As we continue to explore the expansive legacy of Alexander the Great, we now turn our focus to his economic policies. The impact of Alexander's conquests on the economic landscape of the ancient world cannot be overstated. With his relentless campaigns, Alexander opened new trade routes that bridged the gap between East and West, fostering an unprecedented level of economic exchange and interaction. One of the most significant contributions Alexander made to the ancient economy was the establishment of cities across his vast empire. These cities, often bearing his name, were not merely military outposts but thriving centers of commerce and cultural exchange. By founding these cities, Alexander created hubs where merchants, artisans, and scholars from different regions could gather, trade goods, and share ideas. In cities like Alexandria in Egypt, the bustling marketplaces became melting pots of diverse cultures. Here, Greek merchants traded olive oil and wine with Persian traders dealing in spices and silk, while Indian merchants introduced exotic goods such as ivory and precious stones. This vibrant commercial activity not only enriched the local economies but also facilitated the spread of Hellenistic culture. Moreover, the standardization of currency under Alexander's rule further streamlined economic transactions across the empire. By introducing a common coinage, he made trade more efficient and predictable, reducing the complexities of dealing with multiple local currencies. This move significantly boosted economic growth and integration within his dominion. Alexander's economic policies also included the development of infrastructure to support trade and commerce. Roads were constructed, and ports were developed to ensure the smooth movement of goods and people. These infrastructural advancements not only enhanced economic activities, but also strengthened the political and administrative cohesion of his empire. In essence, Alexander's economic strategies were instrumental in knitting together the diverse regions of his empire into a unified economic entity. His legacy in this realm is evident in the flourishing trade networks and cultural exchanges that persisted long after his death. By promoting commerce and connectivity, Alexander laid the foundation for an interconnected world, a testament to his visionary leadership. Thus, Alexander the Great's economic policies were not just about wealth accumulation, but about creating a thriving, interconnected empire. His contributions to the ancient economy continue to be felt, underscoring his role as a transformative figure in history. As we delve deeper into the life and legacy of Alexander the Great, it is crucial to understand the dynamics of his relationship with his generals. This relationship was marked by a blend of admiration, loyalty, and, at times, intense conflict. Alexander's generals were not mere subordinates. They were seasoned warriors and leaders in their own right. Men like Parmenion, Hephaestion, and Craterus played pivotal roles in his military campaigns. Their loyalty to Alexander was often unwavering, inspired by his charismatic leadership and unyielding determination. However, as Alexander's ambitions grew, so did the tensions within his inner circle. The relentless pace of his conquests, coupled with his often unpredictable decisions, led to moments of discord. Notably, the execution of Parmenion and his son Philotas sent shockwaves through the ranks. This incident highlighted the precarious balance between loyalty and suspicion that characterized Alexander's relationships with his generals. Despite these tensions, Alexander's ability to inspire and motivate his generals was unparalleled. He fostered a sense of camaraderie and shared purpose, often leading by example on the battlefield. This bond was evident in the deep friendship he shared with Hephaestion, who was not only a trusted general but also his closest confidant. Yet, the strain of continuous warfare and the pursuit of ever greater ambitions inevitably took its toll. The infamous mutiny at the Hyphasis River in India marked a significant turning point. Here, Alexander's generals and soldiers, weary and longing for home, openly defied his orders to march further east. This moment of rebellion forced Alexander to reconsider his approach, highlighting the limits of even his extraordinary influence. In conclusion, Alexander's relationship with his generals was a complex tapestry of loyalty, admiration, and conflict. While he inspired them with his vision and courage, the pressures of his relentless ambition often tested their allegiance. This intricate dynamic underscores the human element of Alexander's epic journey, revealing the challenges of leadership even for one of history's greatest conquerors. As we continue our exploration of Alexander the Great, we arrive at one of the most profound aspects of his legacy, his vision of a unified world. Alexander's dream was not merely to conquer lands, but to create a cosmopolitan empire where diverse cultures could coexist and flourish under a single banner. This ambition was ahead of its time, reflecting a deep understanding of the value of cultural integration. Alexander encouraged the intermingling of Greek and Persian cultures, promoting marriages between his soldiers and local women, and adopting Persian customs himself. This approach was revolutionary and aimed at fostering a sense of unity and mutual respect among the diverse peoples of his empire. Alexander's establishment of cities, most notably Alexandria in Egypt, served as hubs of cultural exchange and intellectual advancement. These cities became melting pots of ideas, where scholars, artists, and traders from various backgrounds could interact and innovate. His policy of founding new cities and integrating local populations into his administration further exemplified his commitment to a unified world. However, this vision was not without its challenges. The blending of cultures was met with resistance from both the Macedonians, who were wary of losing their identity, and the conquered peoples, who were reluctant to embrace foreign customs. Despite these obstacles, Alexander's efforts laid the groundwork for a more interconnected and culturally diverse world. In essence, Alexander's vision of a unified world was a testament to his forward-thinking leadership. He recognized that true power lay not just in military might, but in the ability to bring people together, fostering an environment where different cultures could coexist and thrive. This legacy of cultural integration remains one of the most enduring and influential aspects of his rule, echoing through the annals of history. As we delve deeper into Alexander the Great's multifaceted legacy, we uncover his significant influence on science and exploration. Alexander's campaigns were not solely military endeavors, they were also expeditions that greatly contributed to the spread of scientific knowledge. Through his conquests, Alexander gathered invaluable information about the geography, flora, and fauna of the vast territories he traversed. This influx of new data enriched Greek understanding of the world, pushing the boundaries of contemporary knowledge. His expeditions were akin to scientific missions, with scholars and naturalists accompanying the army to document their findings. These efforts led to the discovery of new species, the mapping of unknown regions, and a deeper appreciation of the natural world. The impact of Alexander's contributions to science and exploration cannot be understated. His campaigns sparked a curiosity and thirst for knowledge that would inspire generations of scholars and explorers. The wealth of information collected during his journeys laid the groundwork for future scientific advancements and exploration. In essence, Alexander the Great was not just a conqueror of lands but also a pioneer of knowledge. His legacy in science and exploration continues to resonate, reminding us of the enduring power of curiosity and discovery.